Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Stuff I Heard podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Peak, and my lovely wife has joined me once again. Thank you, baby.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
I'm a good. Something's wrong with this microphone arm. It's kind of floppy
You
feeling.
got a floppy microphone?
Yes, I think so.
Just the end of it?
I don't know. Uh,
Huh.
okay, maybe not.
Well, you are kind of
Yep.
like hemmed up in the corner there, like you're in trouble.
Yes.
You don't have to. You can adjust all of that.
I
It's
know.
all adjustable.
I'm scared to move
Anyway,
it too much.
let's talk about stuff I heard. There's some football game on today that people are really excited about, apparently.
Yes, the
Um,
Super Bowl. The Super Bowl Sunday.
and I gotta say, I'm not excited about it.
I could care less.
Um,
And normally I'm not that way. I mean, not that I watch a lot of football, but I've always watched the Super Bowl.
Is it because of the fact that it's the same team again? It seems like the Chiefs just have the thing this year, or is it because of the fact that Taylor Swift is now dating Travis Kelsey, and it seems like this whirlwind of stuff always on your feed about it?
Now, I don't
Is it
know. I mean,
is it too much of a good thing?
I'm not going to say that I wouldn't. I'm not interested at all this year in the
Pro football.
no. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that. I've never really made it a point to watch a lot of pro football games, but I've always kind of watched the Super Bowl or been interested in the Super Bowl.
So let's talk about that because there's a lot of women out there who obviously listen to the podcast. I can see the demographics. They are flocking to
I'm
stuff
sure
I
they
heard.
are.
But let's face it, football in the past has been primarily just a guy's thing that they like to watch. And when I met you, you said I started watching the football when I was younger because
Oh, probably about fifth grade.
about fifth grade. So you would have been what,
I think what 10, 11 years
10,
old, about the
11?
time you get interested in the opposite sex.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that was the only way
So
to get little boys. That was the only way to get boys, guys to talk. They were boys. I mean,
they're
to talk to
boys.
you back then was they talked about football, and
Oh,
the only way to talk to them about football was I had to learn a little bit about football.
you were crafty. You
I did
were
not.
you were hunting with loaded bait.
I did. I did not. I did not grow up in a family where my parents were avid sports watchers because they are not at all.
No.
So I had to sit in front of the TV myself by myself. And that's how I learned about football. And back in the day, that this was in the 70s, it was the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was Roger
Mm.
Staubach and Terry Bradshaw.
Oh, wow.
And
At least you got to see some really good
yeah,
talent. I
oh
mean,
yeah.
they were good
What
teams.
meant it was Terry Bradshaw, Mean Joe Green. I mean, it was, yeah, I think when I think back, yeah, it was definitely, but I
The
just,
Iron Curtain
yep,
defense.
I
Ooh,
watched
who's your
football,
favorite?
Dallas Cowboys back
Okay.
then because it was Roger Staubach and it was Tom Landry.
Okay.
And I don't know, I just, I don't know why I picked the Dallas Cowboys. Might have been probably the first game I ever watched was watching them. But on Sunday, I had one uncle. Um, he was married to my aunt, to my mom's sister, and he loved pro football.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were together as a family, we would sometimes get together on Sunday afternoons. I can remember him watching football, and he would talk to one of my other uncles about football.
Right.
And I mean, he loved it. He loved the NFL football, and that's kind of where I would kind of gravitate toward when I was trying to learn as much as I could about football. It was listening to them watch it.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably where I learned about different offsides and things like that. I'm not going to say that now I know as much about it because I don't keep up with it anymore.
Right.
Some of the rules have changed so much.
Yeah.
But
Now you can't touch anybody. They get
yeah,
mad.
I mean,
They
but
start looking at CTE in people's
even
brains.
though I've never really had like a favorite NFL team, I have always been interested in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
For the same reasons that I'm sure most people. I mean, the commercials have always been, that was always the big thing, who was performing
Right.
at halftime, who
Right.
was singing the national anthem. But I will have to say that to me, then this is just my personal opinion, the commercials are not what they used to be. They are so different now.
Yeah.
And I am not at all impressed with who is singing, who's performing during halftime. And I'm
Yeah,
not going to say that I'm not a rap music fan because I like all different genres of music.
sure.
I thought the year that Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and
That was
Eminem,
cool.
oh, that was one of my
That was really
favorite
cool.
halftime shows.
Even Rihanna pregnant, I thought she did a
Yes,
great job
but I am not at
because
all.
I mean, her voice is just so
Yes,
powerful. And then to do what she did while pregnant, I mean, that was another thing. I was like, wait, is she pregnant? She's doing all this in the
yeah,
sky while she's pregnant too?
and
Oh
I
my
do
goodness.
believe that was she had not been long. She had not been too long before that had a child. This
Yeah,
was she was pregnant with her second.
yeah.
But like I say, I don't know. I just don't think maybe because I'm not interested in the entertainment portion of it is making me not even care if I watch a minute of it.
Yeah,
The year that Chris Stapleton sung the national anthem,
he was great.
he was fantastic. I tuned in then because I wanted to hear that.
Oh yeah,
This year, I don't know the person that's singing the national anthem.
I don't either.
I think they're. I think the person that is singing the national anthem is actually from New Orleans.
I never heard. I didn't hear it was.
I saw the name. I could not
Can you
repeat.
Google it?
I could not tell you what the name is, but I do know that he is a native from New Orleans, and I guess that's why they picked him. I think he's a jazz bluesy type musician. Is what I had read. I'm sure it'll be good. I mean,
John Bar Batiste.
Batiste or something like
I
that.
don't
Yeah,
know who he is.
and I think I read that he has performed during one of the halftime shows before. Because, nowadays they don't have just one performer, they usually have somebody else join them. So I actually happened upon a TikTok a couple nights ago, I guess, with the fact that the Super Bowl's coming up of like past Super Bowl shows.
Hmm.
And, people were saying, ranking them like their top five or their top 10. And there's been a lot of different performers that has performed at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They do not get paid.
Well, also, like, the argument for a long time was they were picking people past their prime. And they were like, why do they keep picking people that are almost retired when they could be picking people that are popular? And maybe it's because they weren't getting paid. Maybe it was because
I don't know. I don't think it's that.
the older crowd that was into setting it up was like, I've always wanted to hear ZZ Top play halftime, stuff like
I
that.
I would I don't know. I would think that maybe it has something to do with why we see a different type of music or a totally different the way the halftime show is being offered to more younger people.
Yeah.
Well, also you have a different entertainment company that the NFL has hired. I did read that. So maybe that's what changed it.
Mm.
I also read that the entertainment company that the NFL hires to do the halftime shows is made up of a conglomerate of different people. Jay-Z happens to be one of them.
One of the owners?
One of the owners, yes.
Oh, okay.
So, but I did read too that the NFL does not pay the performer, to whoever they pick or whoever they offer it to. They do not pay them. But they also said that after the halftime show, they gave some percentage of the amount of downloads for that artist's music that happens after the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And their downloads will skyrocket after they perform at the Super Bowl. They apparently do not have any problem getting people do turn it down, because I did read that Taylor Swift has actually been offered or asked to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show, and she has turned it down.
Well, why would she want to do it for free when she gets to make so much money?
But now also
herself?
too, I did see an interview with Chris Stapleton. He was doing it was part of a TikTok, and he was actually doing a podcast. And somebody asked him, "What is the most nervous you've ever been during a performance or before a performance?" And he did not even skip a beat. He said, "Performing for the Super Bowl, the national anthem." And he said, why? And he said, because it's the Super Bowl. He said, the national anthem is one song that I stay away from because it is a hard song to do. Mm-hmm. It is a song that if you mess it up, you will be forever known as the person who messed it up.
Yeah.
He said, and I always said throughout my whole career, when people would ask me to do the national anthem at different type events, I would turn it down and I would say, I appreciate the offer, but I'm waiting for an offer from the Super Bowl. And he said that he felt like when they came to him and offered him to sing that particular, he said, I honestly, I didn't want to do it because of how nervous the
Sure.
thought of it made me, and the fact that if I made a mistake that it would forever be with me. He said, but when they offered it to me, I said, I have said my whole career that if they that was what I was holding out for. He said, so I've got to do it. And and he said that it was by far the most nerve-wracking thing he's ever done.
Yeah, it is not an easy song. You know what I didn't know? Because this is the Stuff I Heard podcast. Let's talk about stuff I heard. I did not know that Whitney Houston's performance at the Super Bowl was pre-recorded.
Yes, I remember
I
reading
thought
that or
that was
hearing that.
live, and then like heard many, many years later after she
Yeah.
passed that all that was pre-recorded and that she just like did it again over what it was being recorded. But I was like, I thought that was her the whole time. But they were saying that there was such a conversation timing wise issue with the flyover and stuff like that, and they wanted to get it perfect. And they had practiced it and practiced it and practiced it, and she was so nervous that they said, just do it for recording purposes. And they recorded it, and they go, okay, now that's the one we're going to do. And
Yeah.
apparently, they didn't tell her it was going to be
Oh, in my
pre-recorded,
opinion, if
played.
you rewatch
Yeah.
her, that it has to be the best performance
Oh, yeah.
ever of anybody ever singing the national anthem.
Yeah.
I don't know. She was. Now, don't get me wrong. Chris
Listen.
Stapleton's was amazing.
We heard a lady at the beginning of the college national championships. I don't know who she was. She was awesome. I mean, just floored me.
I don't know. I mean,
maybe that's what.
Maybe I mean, Jennifer Hudson,
the military guy.
Jennifer Hudson was.
Yeah, Jennifer Hudson's great.
I rewatched hers just recently, and
Yeah.
she killed it. But
Yeah.
I mean, Whitney Houston's was just. It was iconic.
We should get Carrie Underwood to do it next year.
I don't know if Carrie Underwood.
She did America the Beautiful at the Trump inauguration.
Yes. But like I said, I'm not interested in the halftime entertainment this year. So I don't even know if I'll watch any of it.
You know, I did a little bit of looking because I was curious. I was like, who's Kendrick Lamar? I don't know who Kendrick Lamar is. I'm sorry. I was like, who's Kendrick Lamar? And I realized that one of the songs that I've heard on TikTok is his song.
Yeah.
It's like a little bleep from it or whatever. But then people were showing like the words of what he's saying, and he's talking about pedophiles in Hollywood. And I was like, whoa, this is his most popular song, and this is what he's talking about. And there were people like making fun of it, the fact that it won awards at the Grammys, and they were showing like people were imitating the celebrities in the crowd, like getting ready to clap and then going like shock value of realizing it was them he was singing about. I was like, man, this is something else. So
yeah, and I'm not a Kendrick Lamar fan.
I don't know any of his music. Just the one song I got from TikTok.
And then he's actually going to have a female rap star join him. I don't remember her name right off the top of my head, but I don't know any of her music either. So, I mean, I would love to see. Of course, we've seen some great halftime shows. I thought Bruno Mars, the year he was.
Oh yeah, Bruno Mars was
Bruno
amazing.
Mars absolutely killed it, and I want to say somebody joined him, but I can't remember who it was. Prince, the year he performed in the pouring down rain was incredible. Michael Jackson, I enjoyed the year he was the Super Bowl halftime show. There's been a lot of good ones.
The internet says SZA, SZA.
Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce
Lamar.
it. Yeah.
I don't know SZA.
I don't either, and so like I said, I'm not.
I'm out of the loop. I'm old. I'm 50.
Me too.
This is happening quick, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's been some great performances. Weirdly enough, the one that got everyone's attention with Janet Jackson and
Justin Timberlake.
Timing wise, perfect to the song. He rips her top off, and then they're like, "Oh, it was a malfunction of the word." No, it wasn't. It was planned. It was part of the song.
He's actually, up
to that point, I thought, wow, this is cool. They finally got cool people to do the Super Bowl halftime, and then suddenly you're like, wait, I watched this with my kids.
nowadays that is not a shock factor
No,
anymore.
no, but it was then.
I mean, you can simply watch the Grammys and see way more skin
Apparently.
than what they showed when that
Yep.
malfunction supposedly happened.
Apparently, I
Justin Timberlake has actually done the Super Bowl, I think, 3 times.
really.
I was like I say, I went down the rabbit hole up
Huh.
here one night last week of different halftime shows and different artists that's actually played the halftime show. You
Mm.
remember the year that it was Britney Spears and
Yeah.
Aerosmith?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who else. I can't remember.
Oh,
Like I say, the year that it was Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. I think it
that was
was
cool.
was it 50 Cent or however you say his
Yep.
name,
Fitty.
50, and was Nelly, I think.
Yep. Nelly.
Oh, that was that one, and then Eminem toward the end,
Yeah.
because I love his
Well, and
music.
they had a use of everything, including they even put lowriders on the field,
Yeah,
which I thought, oh, holy cow, look at all this
yeah,
they're doing. This is so cool.
that was a
But I
great
could
show.
just see them going, from especially from where they started to where they are now, of them going, listen, we got money. Let's do it. Let's show people what we can do as a show.
Well, I mean,
And they went all out.
there's been a lot of big names. Katy Perry has done the Super Bowl. Lady
Yeah.
Gaga. They,
Yeah.
the weekend, not
The
too.
weekend was fun.
Yeah,
That was a fun one.
that was
That
just
was high
recently.
energy.
It's been just in the last couple of years that he was the halftime show.
The weird part is before they performed, I was like, who's the weekend? And then they started singing, and I was like, oh, I know a lot of these
Yeah,
songs. I didn't realize I knew their songs. Yeah.
yeah,
But
but
also, like, okay, so I wanted to talk about Saquon Barkley being the best running back playing right now. Started off with Penn State, was a phenomenal running back for Penn State, was up for the Heisman and got beat by somebody. I forget who beat him. But anyway, goes to play professional football for the Giants. Crappy team. He's the best player on there by far. And then for whatever reason, the Eagles pick him up. I don't know how the Giants let him go, but the Eagles picked him up on a team that was already playoff bound. And then they got this superstar running back who, if they win tonight, is going to be because of him, because he is going to draw so much attention. If they don't draw attention to him, they have an explosive quarterback and running back and wide receivers that are just going to light them up. But I think this is going to be a good competition. I really hope the Eagles win. I mean, I know that a lot of people are like, no, no, Kansas City three-peat. It'll be the first time in NFL history since the new NFL conglomerate or whatever. Yeah, okay, they're all great, but fly Eagles fly. That's what I'm saying.
I would have liked to have seen the
I want to see
Eagles
Saquon Barkley get one.
Did not Jason Kelce, right?
Yeah.
Did he win a
Yeah.
Super Bowl? Okay, he did win a Super
They
Bowl.
won with
Well, now they
Nick
did.
Foles was their
Okay,
quarterback.
they didn't win the year that it was them against the Chiefs, though.
No.
The Chiefs won,
Yeah.
right? I think that was the first Chiefs win, and then they won again last year.
Something like that. Yeah.
Which who did they play last year?
I don't know. Somebody.
I don't remember who it was either.
No one remembers the losers.
Well, I mean, if there is definitely, I would think
The Rams.
I'm not. I can't remember. You would think that there's more than likely more people pulling for
San Francisco. That's who it was.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because George Kittle, they were making the comparison of George Kittle being tight end for San Francisco and Brock Purdy and their comparison to the Kansas
I'm sure
City
there's
Chiefs.
more people pulling for the Eagles tonight than there is the Chiefs.
No,
Because I think people are tired of seeing the Chiefs.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of Swifties that are watching football now.
That's true.
Maybe they're young girls that are in the 5th grade that are like, hey, boys seem to like to talk to me when I know about football.
There's that.
Maybe there's that. You might have tapped into some special hunting bait there that you got in your tackle box. I tried to do something similar. I got into home ec. It did not work out as well.
It did not work out as well. I'm not going to say mine worked out that well either. I mean,
granted, I can sew and cook.
But I think back then you actually had to chase the boy down on the playground just to get him to talk to you.
Yeah,
Because 5th grade, they're really
everybody's nervous. Everybody's weird. Everybody feels weird.
It's all done so different nowadays.
I remember the first time that I knew that I liked this girl, Lisa, when I was in 3rd grade, just because I liked her. I don't know what about her I liked her, but I just liked her. Something about her. She was fun to hang out with. But I got in a fight with my best friend Robbie in 2nd grade because of some girl named Sonia.
2nd grade?
2nd grade. Yep.
Jeez.
I was in 2nd grade and Robbie was my best friend. He lived in the apartment under me. And I don't remember his name other than Robbie. And we were playing in the playground one day and Robbie liked her. I didn't realize he liked her, but as kids you realize later he threw sand in her face and it got in her eyes and she cried. And I got mad and I responded and I punched him in the nose and broke his nose. And Robbie's dad attacked me and my stepdad attacked him and it ended up really bad and the cops got called and it was fun. It's a fun time.
Second grade, I was, that's the
That was
difference
my
in the
first.
generation. I mean, that's the difference in the age
That was
or
my.
the time because I was in second grade in the 60s.
That was my first fist fight.
In second grade.
Yeah.
Holy cow. In
And
second,
we didn't really fist fight. I punched Robbie one good time and it broke his nose.
second grade,
I felt bad
during my
about it.
time, second grade, we were still eating crayons.
You know, the weird part was I was still friends with Robbie after that, and I never talked to Sonia again. Like he and I just we bonded, and then my stepdad and this dude's dad bonded, and it was just it got ugly real fast for no reason, and then whatever. But then like third grade, there was well no, it was still Sonia.
Now, see, I don't even remember if I was
Sixth grade, I moved here, and this girl named Shannon something. I forget her last. I know her last name. I'm not gonna say it out loud. Shannon walked by me and this guy named John Griggs, and we both turned around and looked at her butt. In sixth grade, I was like, I think I like girls. It was suddenly like, hey, what's up, girl? Yeah. So anyway, Shannon, if you're still out there, hi. How are you?
I don't remember being in. I don't.
12-year-old me really liked you.
Definitely not in second grade. Wasn't even remotely.
I was. The weird part about it, Shannon actually looked like you. She was about the same build.
Anyway, Super Bowl tonight.
Maybe I tapped into some weird Freudian going of not Freudian, but you know what I
mean. No, I don't.
How you doing?
Jeez.
So anyway,
man, this train goes off the track.
This is stuff easily. I heard. Okay, so anywho,
I think we need to quit with the train and just drive a 4x4.
Let's talk about a commercial. Let's talk about Buddy Burger. We had a Buddy Burgers this past week here in Florence, and had
the weather was beautiful Friday.
Like you texted me and you said, "Hey, where do you want to go eat tonight?" I said, "I don't care as long as we're outside."
Well, Lori actually mentioned whenever I texted her, I was like, "Well, what are we doing for dinner? Are we doing dinner this evening?" And she was like, "Sure." And I was like, "Where are we going?" And she was like, it would be nice if we could go somewhere and sit outside. And I was like, yeah. And which worked perfect because we have just been totally slammed at work. And I did not even walk outside the building Friday. So I was really surprised and glad whenever I did walk outside at 4:00 Friday and realized
the weather was
very nice out.
Very nice. Yep. And, originally we were going to go to Chili's, but she said she went by there and they were packed. And so she's like, "What about Buddy Burger?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was thinking Buddy Burger the whole time." But
Buddy's Burgers here in Florence is really good.
They make smash burgers. So if you're ever here in Florence, look them up. They're really good. They also have really good chicken tenders and a fish sandwich that's just phenomenal.
Well, their French fries are totally different too.
Their French fries are like they take a whole potato and they thick slice it, a whole potato, into this giant slabs.
Yes.
And then they season it and fry it or whatever.
Their French fries are really good.
They're phenomenal. They're like steak fries.
They have milkshakes. They
got boozy shakes.
They have boozy shakes. They're really good.
Yep. And they got beers, but weirdly enough, I wanted something in a bottle because it's colder in a bottle, and they had a Coors, and I had a Coors, and I actually thought it was pretty good.
It was busy. I mean, everybody, you could tell a lot of people were getting out.
A lot of people had the same idea we did. And there's a fun little area out on the side with a lawn where kids were playing and kicking the ball.
And I think that's closer to what is that? Locomotive Brewing.
Yeah. Brewing is behind there. And then they have a partnership with different foodies that bring on food trucks out there. I think King Hefe has a little sushi taco truck thing that goes back there.
King Hefe was a restaurant I was thinking I was going to suggest until Lori said, let's go somewhere we can eat outside. And I was like, yeah, we need to take advantage of the fact that we're actually going to have a really pretty weather this weekend. And it was even yesterday. I mean, it started off more overcast yesterday, Saturday.
Oh yeah.
But I want to say the temperature climbed up close to 70 degrees on yesterday.
Yeah. Yesterday. Well, because the weather had turned out nice and they were expecting it to be nice on Saturday and Sunday, I got invited to go to Coffee and Cars here, and we went and had some breakfast and then went to the local church to do that.
It's Cars and Coffee. Cars comes first, remember?
Cars and Coffee and Cars, whatever. There was so many cars there. everybody had cabin fever. You could tell it was
Yeah.
time that everybody wanted to get outside and just hang out and say hello to one another, and it was a crowd of people. It was great. Great
And today
day.
was another gorgeous day, but I think weather is headed
Yeah.
cold, cooler starting
Yeah, we're
tomorrow.
gonna have another cold snap, which is good because I need to do some outdoor stuff.
Well, I mean,
I gotta clean up. I gotta clean up some outdoor stuff before the spring gets here.
it's only what uh, today's the 9th of February. We still got some cold weather left.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But
I've been doing some things around here
what have you been doing?
inside.
I mean, I know what you've been doing. No one else knows.
I want to remodel our master closet.
Okay.
That um is actually easier said than done, especially when you don't have any idea what you want to do. And we have a very odd shape master closet. Don't get me wrong, I am extremely thankful that we have a nice walk-in closet because there's a
Hmm.
lot of places, a lot of homes don't.
This is by far the biggest closet I've ever had.
No, it's not the biggest closet I've ever had. It's the most odd shaped closet I've ever had because our closet is 15, 15 and a half feet long
15, 7/8
by
by 6.
6 foot wide.
Yeah.
So it is very long and narrow.
With a door on one side
With
and
a
a window on the other side
yes.
with a bench.
And we can't lose the window. I mean, I don't want to.
Right. It just
So
looked weird if we did.
yes, because I don't want to board it up or I mean, because I realize you could do that and you wouldn't be able to tell from the outside because we do have like the wooden slat blinds in the window,
Right.
but I don't want to do that. It adds
We
a
don't need to
lot.
do it.
No, and it adds a lot of natural light, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a different configuration, and it's posing a bit of an I don't know. I've got to definitely get creative to try to figure out how we want to remodel this closet. Right now, we have custom. It was built. The what's in there now is custom built, right?
Yeah.
It's not anything prefabbed or what it, and it's not anything
It's just
much to
plywood.
speak of. Well, I mean, it's just not
It's
anything
plywood
other
with
than
with some trim on the outside.
right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. It's just not it. There's nothing but just hanging.
Yeah.
We have one little section that has some shelving that we put our linens for our bathroom, our washcloths and towels and things like that. It's just not very space. They didn't utilize the space very well.
Mm.
We were so eager to get into this house 17 years ago with 3 kids because we moved from a 2 bedroom, 2 bath condo that we wanted to get in here as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, it was like Jon Snow in the big battle where you're like, I need oxygen.
Yeah,
you're just wanting to get out of the hole.
Looking back, the closet is definitely something that I should have had a little bit more.
We can't look back.
I
There's
know.
a lot of things you could do if you look back.
Well, I mean, I just should have built more, utilized the space better than what I did.
I mean, we could have built a ranch house and just made them all live in the same room until they moved out quicker.
There was that. But so now I'm trying to figure out what I want in that room, and it's a little more challenging than I thought.
Yeah. Well, and while that's going on, I seem to be fixing the Jeep right now with the help of Danny and Mike and Bobby. I've been having a little bit of a wobble in the front ever since I bought it. I could tell there was something that needed to be done because the Jeep was towed behind an RV, and it lived at Myrtle Beach a lot, so there was a lot of salt damage. But we took everything apart and we ordered the parts that we needed for those tie rod ends. And Mike had some extra rotors to put on, and I went ahead and ordered some brakes to go ahead and make sure that was done. And so yeah, we should be buttoning that stuff up pretty soon. And Mike really helped me out by having the rotors and giving them to me. I mean, that was awesome. But then, Danny, of course, having the shop and then helping me do all the work is just phenomenal. So it's good to have friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
They help you spend money, obviously.
Well, it's the play date you set me up on, and there we go.
Yeah.
Don't
put this back on me.
He could have been into hunting big game, and next thing you know, I'd be like, honey, I'm going out to get a moose. And you'd be like, what?
All I know is yesterday, I think we had a conversation somewhere yesterday afternoon, evening, where you were going on and on about the Jeep, and I was barely listening, but I did hear the words, oh, what didn't cost much money.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and ordered, and then I happened to be checking
It
the
was like half of what I thought it would be.
$300.
No, it's only 240 total.
There's more than one
I
charge.
know. It's not
$300.
$300.
Okay, it's 289 and some change.
No, it was 179 from one and $60 from the other. That's $240.
So anyway,
Well, then I went to Lowe's today for some paint and lacquer, clean that lacquer thinner, because Danny was cleaning up some stuff and paint got on the white, and he was like, "Oh no, we need some lacquer thinner," and I was like, "I'll be right back." So yeah, listen, he's doing a lot.
I'm not saying anything at all about Shaw. Shaw's fantastic.
He is
Danny Shaw's
fantastic.
fantastic.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, my closet is on hold because we have a Jeep and new concrete to park it on.
We're doing it. We're gonna go and we're gonna get some closet stuff. We're gonna put it in there. It'll be this year. Watch.
Okay.
It'll happen.
How many more pints of blood are you planning on giving?
I'm already scheduled. In March. I'm already scheduled.
Yeah. Moving right along.
Moving right along. See, the good part is you've motivated me to make more YouTube videos, which I have, even though your videos are outpacing mine on YouTube.
Oh, the one where I cleaned the shower? Or not
Yeah.
cleaned the shower.
The
I
one where
complained about the shower.
The one where you took the shower completely apart and then
Well, not the shower.
No,
the
no, no,
shower door.
The shower door. We have a glass shower door. You took it apart and you basically figured out that the gasket on the bottom was no good anymore.
I basically figured out that a man designed these things, and he obviously did not even remotely think about the fact that they had to be. They
he
have
hated
to be.
The fact that they were going to be clean one day.
I don't know. I don't know why.
You did a great job.
I do not know why some things are designed the way they are designed.
I just put your video up and it got like 160 views like right away. I was like, "Whoa, look at it take off!"
And it was nothing except for me saying, "Why?
Right.
Why was this designed this way?"
Yeah.
And is there something that I can do to keep these?
See, that's that female demographic that I'm talking about. They tapped into it and they're like, "Hey, look, Dolores is working on something. I like her. Let's see what she's up to." Oh my God, look at that. I got one of those.
In the future, I do not want shower doors that have.
You could just end it at the word shower doors.
There you go. I mean, I either want to do something different where we have no shower doors.
Walk around. Yep.
Or I want the shower doors that have no. They're just
flat glass.
Just a flat piece of glass.
Yeah. Well, that explains why they have it at the hotels. Even though I've noticed that the places that have it, water gets all over the floor because
it does.
But we won't have to worry about that if we get rid of that tub and just make that a big walk around.
I don't know. Like I say,
I got ideas.
I struggled last week with a shower door upstairs and then decided, okay, I've taken that one apart, cleaned it, put it back together. So now
that's no problem. I can handle the next one.
Well, ours has been done before.
Yep.
And of course, we use our shower way more than the shower upstairs has ever been used. And thankfully, nobody uses it now. But ours, I had more trouble with it for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
The piece that I ordered to replace didn't work out quite the way I wanted it to. So I had to take a pair of scissors to it. And anyway.
Sometimes things need to be modified.
Sometimes things have to be modified.
So there's that.
On the fly.
On the fly. Not physics. You know what I mean. Anyway.
Yes.
So I think that's a good stopping point. We got 34 minutes. I feel good about it. You feel good about it?
I feel good about it.
You look great.
Yep.
So anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
You're just trying to buy more Jeep parts.
No, baby, I love you.
You're just trying to buy more Jeep. Whoa. Like to turn that cup over.
That would have made a mess.
Yes, it would have.
You'd have had the first F word on the podcast. If you'd have done that.
You'd have had to bleep that one out.
I'd have been like, no, I'll leave that one in. That would be worth all of it. I'd lose sponsorships. I don't care. So anyway.
Oh my gosh, we're going to lose sponsorships. Oh no. Do we have any sponsorships? No. So we're okay.
I mean, I did a fake ad for somebody. Anyway. So anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all. Share this with your friends. And if you want to be on the podcast, let me know. If you have something you want to talk about, let me know. And yeah.
Cue the cow.
Cue the cow, baby.
Cue the cow. Moo, baby.